What's up, YouTube boys? We are so back again for another video. Today we got a video uploaded by Cosmic Wonder. Today we have Spider-Man Tobey and Andrew. Huge confirmation for No Way Home and Daredevil confirmed. So we're gonna check this out because I think I know what he's about to talk about. In fact, I heard what he's about to talk about. So apparently I'm gonna go over it because I'm pretty sure this is what he's about to talk about. Apparently there's a leaked audio of the Spider-Man No Way Home theme, and if you listen to the theme, you hear subtle cues, not subtle, well, pretty, for those who pay attention, you know what I'm saying, you'll notice, but you hear the soundtracks for, slight cues of the soundtracks for Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Andrew's Spider-Man. Starts off with Andrew's, then it ends off with Tobey's. I listened to it earlier, it's only like a minute or so long. It gave me chills, man. So anyways, we're gonna check out this video by Cosmic Warner to see what Warren has to say, but before we get into it, y'all, let me know down below in the comments, how was your day? Hopefully it was pretty good. Mine was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, let's get it, man. Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm your host, Warren Thompson, and today we have some really big news concerning Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and Charlie Cox returning.
Oh yeah, Kevin Feige confirmed.
This has been confirmed
Season
by
4.
Kevin Feige himself the other day. Now, it wasn't specific towards Spider-Man No Way Home, but if we take a look at everything we know so far and connect it, we're pretty sure it's for Spider-Man No Way Home. And I'll break down everything you need to know about what has been said over the last couple of days about Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Charlie Cox returning to play Matt Murdock and Daredevil in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes,
also,
I can't wait, dude. I love Charlie Cox.
Really big giveaway coming up. I went into a store and bought pretty much every single Marvel thing they had inside of it. This will be announced in a few days, so be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the announcement. Okay, so, like I said, big Tobey news, big Andrew news, and big Charlie Cox news. And let's talk about Charlie Cox first, because it's pretty straightforward, and it's coming from Kevin Feige himself. Now, there's been rumors that Charlie Cox was going to return to the MCU and reprise his role as Matt Murdock. They've been going on for a while now. In fact, the last report that we got stated that we are going to be seeing Matt Murdock 4 times in the MCU that we know.
Oh yeah, I remember
that.
Yeah.
With 1,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man No Way Home. 2, the Echo series.
Thinking
3,
that maybe
the
She-Hulk,
series, which just makes a ton of sense. Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, is a lawyer, and so is Matt Murdock. And they're both superheroes. And then 4, it's been reported that he's going to get his own
series,
solo project, whether that's a Disney Plus Daredevil show or his own movie. So some pretty big reports
would be
about
pretty
Daredevil,
dope.
aka Matt Murdock, but the biggest thing was that the
got a lot of hair,
reports are
man.
stating that Charlie Cox would be returning and reprising his role, something that some people didn't think would happen because he already played Daredevil in the Netflix series, and a lot of people thought that, well, the studio's not simply going to use the same actors, but have the character pretty much be rebooted. But that gets put to rest.
I've seen
dang ads.
affect the people I care about. That's why I'm helping protect myself
Get
against
YouTube Plus, if you don't like the ads. That's what someone commented one time.
Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, confirms that if Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, does come to the MCU, he will indeed be played by Charlie Cox. And let's take a look at exactly what Kevin Feige said in an interview with Cinema Blend. He was asked about Daredevil, about Matt Murdock, about Charlie Cox. And here is exactly what he said. Quote, "If you were to see Daredevil in upcoming things, Charlie Cox, yes, would be the actor playing Daredevil. Where we see that, how we see that, when we see that remains to be seen." Okay, we'll talk about that last part in just a bit. But right here, Kevin Feige confirms, yes, if Daredevil comes, it's going to be Charlie Cox that is playing him. Insanely good news for everybody who loved the Netflix Daredevil series, and I think a lot of fans really, really did enjoy Charlie Cox playing Matt Murdock. He did an amazing job, and I believe that this really is what fans want, which is a great testament to Kevin Feige really knowing characters and really knowing the fan base. Now, that second part where he says where we see him, when, how, that remains to be seen. Of course, Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, can't just come out and say, yep, he's in Spider-Man No Way Home. You're going to see him there. Open. Then you're going to see him in the Echo series. Open. Then She-Hulk. Open. He's getting his own show. That's never going to happen. I mean, just think about how hard Marvel Studios and Sony were trying to keep Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield a secret for Spider-Man No Way Home, which we're about to talk about. But they're trying so hard. They're not going to just spoil something. But here's the deal. We have seen seen the leaked photos of Charlie Cox returning as Matt Murdock in Spider-Man No Way Home. There was that photo that went around of Tom Holland's Peter Parker, Aunt May, and Happy Hogan sitting at a table with Matt Murdock. And it was specifically
John
Charlie
Campio
Cox's
watermark.
Matt Murdock. And that photo is widely believed to be real. And now with this announcement from Kevin Feige stating that, yes, if Daredevil comes to the MCU, he will be played by Charlie Cox, that pretty much confirms it. Meaning it's confirmed that Daredevil, a.k.a. Matt Murdock, is going to be entering the MCU in Spider-Man No Way Home and is most likely going to be Peter Parker's lawyer. And speaking of confirmations, let's keep the ball rolling and start talking about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Now, there has just been so much evidence over the past, let's say, year, supporting the rumors and reports that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield would be reprising their roles as Spider-Man and be on screen in the MCU with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. There's been plenty of proof over time, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but let's talk about what happened over the weekend. A huge leak got out. The soundtrack for Spider-Man No Way Home was apparently leaked online. Now, this was leaked by the same person who leaked the Halo soundtrack before it came out, and it ended up being 100% accurate.
Really?
So, since that leak was accurate, we do believe that this leak is accurate as well for the Spider-Man No Way Home soundtrack, but still take it with a grain of salt as it might not be. However, the soundtrack has pretty much been copyrighted on any platform that it's been posted on, so that's a pretty good indicator that it's real. And I must give you a spoiler warning for anybody trying to avoid some spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. We're about to talk about them. We're specifically talking about 2 tracks here for the Spider-Man No Way Home soundtrack. One, which I believe was track 19, features some of Tobey Maguire's theme. Music from Tobey Maguire's Sam Raimi Spider-Man universe. And needless to say, this would confirm that Tobey
I didn't listen to the whole track list. There's one track in particular, and it has like both of their themes on it, I guess, or whatever. I gotta find that though. They got a whole track. I'm gonna listen to it.
In Spider-Man No Way Home. Why else would his theme play? Why would Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man theme play?
I mean, they could use part of that theme for the villains too, though.
And you can say the same for Andrew Garfield because there is a track that has his theme on it as well. Now, it is blended. It's mixed with other themes, but it's pretty distinguishable. If you're a big Spider-Man fan, you'll be able to recognize the theme. No problem at all. It is very clear that we're hearing Tobey Maguire's and Andrew Garfield's theme in some of these tracks, which is a huge confirmation that they'll both indeed be in this film. Now, obviously, we're not going to share that audio. It's been copyrighted everywhere, and I'm sure some of you have actually heard it by now, and you can comment down below telling everybody what you heard. But this combined with pretty much everything else that we've heard, everything else that we've seen, pretty much is 100% confirmation that Tobey and Andrew are in the film. Now, again, we've been getting reports about the two of them being in the movie for over a year now. And since then, we've had leaked photos, leaked audio, and not to mention, Tom Holland actually teased them himself in some of the promos. Remember when he brought his 2 special friends on, and it happened to be Zendaya and Jacob, and he said, who else would it be? Yeah, that was him hinting at the 2 other Spider-Men for those of you who didn't catch on.
But first, let me bring in 2 very special friends to help out.
I mean, it's only right. We are your best friends, right?
It makes sense for us to join this.
Makes sense.
Of course. I mean, who else would it be?
I mean, in the trailers, they even acknowledge the other Spider-Man. Doc Ock says, "You're not Peter." And then Doctor Strange asks him when he's in the cell, "Do you know a Peter Parker Spider-Man in your universe?" And he says, "Yes." Then he points to Tom Holland and says, "Is that him?" Doc Ock says, "No." Because Tobey Maguire is his Peter Parker. And he knows that because his identity was revealed at the end of Spider-Man 2. So Sony kind of knows that we know. They're not going to admit it until the movie actually comes out, which I definitely respect and I definitely prefer, because even though we've seen a few leaked pictures, even though we know, the experience of seeing them all together, interacting,
dude, I might
for the first time on screen is still preserved. I
don't think I've cried at all, like, for a movie this year. I don't think. It's come out. Nothing I cried over, you know what I'm saying? This might actually make me shed a tear, bro.
What we get to see in the theater for the first
just
time.
Seeing Tobey
that's
alone.
What I want to happen. Seeing it in
Plus
the theater
Andrew.
for the very first time. But it's also kind of nice to know that going into the theater, I will know that they are in the film. And if they really aren't, then wow, were we really, really played.
Dude,
but
if they weren't,
that they are, and I think a lot of people do at this point in time now as well, especially after these audio tracks have leaked. But let me know what you think about this awesome news in the comments down below. Charlie Cox returning as Daredevil, which of course we pretty much know that that's going to happen in Spider-Man No Way Home. And then of course Tobey and Andrew returning as well. Be sure to like the video and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the latest MCU news. And for live updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. As always, thank you all so much for watching.
Woof, woof. All right, that was it. Warren has let us know. Kevin Feige basically confirmed Daredevil's back. And he's going to be making appearances throughout the MCU. Starting off with No Way Home. He didn't say that part, but we know. Also, like I said, I listened to the audio. Apparently there's more tracks. There's more tracks like actually out there you can listen to. I'm about to be searching Twitter up and down. I'm going to listen to the whole thing tonight. So y'all let me know down below in the comments. Have you heard it? What are your thoughts on it? And does this now make you believe that Tobey and Andrew are in the film? Also, how do you feel about the Daredevil news? And what are you looking forward to seeing Daredevil occur in first or pop up in first? You know, I mean, besides Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know down below in the comments. With that being said, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch, follow me on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Leroy Said So, same YouTube channel. There you can also send me social out too. That being said, peace.